Tommy walks into episode 10 believing he finally has control. His enemies feel scattered. His moves feel clean. And for the first time in a long while, things seem quiet. That quiet is important. In Power Book 4, Force, silence is never peace. It's a warning. This episode opens with a sense of balance that feels earned. But that balance is fake. Tommy thinks the board is clear because the obvious threats are either gone or weakened. What he doesn't realize is that control doesn't always come from fear. Sometimes it comes from comfort. Throughout the season, the show trains us to look at the loud characters first, the ones who argue, threaten, and move fast. They feel dangerous because they demand attention. But episode 10 flips that thinking. It shows us that power can exist without noise. While Tommy reacts to visible problems, someone else benefits from every move he makes, not by pushing him, but by letting him move freely. That freedom becomes the trap. The illusion of control works because Tommy has always survived chaos. He knows how to fight when everything is burning. But when things slow down, when decisions feel easy, that's when his guard drops. Episode 10 uses this moment to remind us that confidence can be more dangerous than fear. When Tommy believes he's safe, he stops questioning the people closest to him. And that's exactly what the hidden threat needs. This episode doesn't rush into violence. Instead, it stretches time. Conversations feel longer. Decisions feel heavier. The camera lingers on moments that seem normal, but they're not. They are loaded. The show wants us to feel the same false safety Tommy feels. That way, when the truth starts to surface, it hits harder. The illusion isn't just fooling Tommy. It's fooling us to dot the real threat in episode 10 is powerful because he doesn't behave like one. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't rush decisions. He doesn't need credit. All season long, he has stayed close enough to matter, but far enough to avoid suspicion. That's not weakness. That's strategy. While others fight for position, he studies people. He learns how they think, what they fear, and when they act without thinking. What makes him dangerous is patience. He lets situations unfold instead of forcing them. When chaos breaks out, he doesn't panic. He adapts. That adaptability keeps him alive and invisible. Episode 10 quietly shows how many moments across the season only worked because he allowed them to. Small choices, small silences, small approvals that pushed events in the direction he wanted without anyone noticing. The show never places a spotlight on him, and that's the point. Power Book 4, Force uses distraction as a weapon. While we're focused on wars, revenge, and survival, the real threat is building something long-term. He's not trying to win today. He's trying to be standing when everyone else falls tomorrow. That kind of thinking separates leaders from survivors. Episode 10 gives subtle signs. A look held too long. A reaction that comes too late. A calm response when anger would be expected. These moments tell us everything if we're paying attention. He's not shocked by outcomes because he already planned for them. And when you realize that, the entire season changes. Suddenly, he's not a background character anymore. He's the center of the storm that hasn't fully hit yet. Episode 10 doesn't just move the story forward. It rewrites the past. Scenes that once felt random now feel planned. Choices that looked emotional now feel calculated. The episode forces us to look back and question who benefited from every major turn. And the answer is uncomfortable. The real threat has been winning, without fighting. This episode uses reflection as a weapon. It slows the pace so we can feel the weight of realization. Nothing is accidental anymore. Every silence mattered. Every delay mattered. Every moment where someone chose not to act mattered most of all. That's how the hidden threat operated. He didn't need violence because others were already destroying each other. What makes this reveal powerful is that it doesn't come with a speech or confession. It comes through understanding. The audience connects the dots the same time Tommy does. And that shared realization creates tension. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. The trust that held everything together suddenly feels fragile. Episode 10 shows that the real danger isn't betrayal in one moment. It's loyalty slowly redirected. The hidden threat didn't steal power. He waited for it to be handed to him. And by the time anyone notices, it's too late to take it back without consequences. This episode marks the moment where control shifts quietly, permanently. Tommy's greatest strength has always been his heart. And that's exactly what puts him in danger. He understands violence. He understands betrayal from enemies. What he struggles with is betrayal from familiarity. Episode 10 exposes this weakness without mercy. The real threat isn't someone Tommy fears. It's someone he trusts enough not to question. Tommy believes loyalty is proven through action. But the hidden threat proves loyalty can be performed. Saying the right things. Standing in the right places. Choosing silence when silence benefits you. That performance is convincing because it feels real. And for a long time, it is real enough. By the time Tommy starts to sense something is off, the damage is already done. The blind spot isn't intelligence. It's emotion. Tommy wants to believe certain people are solid because he needs them to be. Episode 10 shows how that need becomes a weakness. Trust, once broken, doesn't just hurt. It destabilizes everything built on it. The episode ends with a feeling, not a fight. A sense that something irreversible has happened. The real threat hasn't revealed himself fully yet, but his shadow is everywhere. And the scariest part is this: he's still standing right there, in plain sight, waiting for the moment when hiding is no longer necessary. All season long, the show has trained the audience to look in the wrong direction. Every argument, every threat, every loud move was meant to pull attention away from the quiet figure standing nearby. The real danger never announced himself because he never needed to. He stayed close to the action without becoming the action. That position gave him something far more valuable than fear. It gave him access. While others were busy fighting for respect, he was busy learning how everyone thinks. What makes this man dangerous is not strength or speed. It is awareness. He listens more than he speaks. He watches how people react under pressure. He notices patterns others ignore. When chaos breaks out, he does not rush in. He waits to see who survives, who cracks, and who adapts. That patience allows him to move only when the outcome already favors him. In a world where everyone wants fast results, moving slow becomes the ultimate advantage. Throughout the season, there are moments where things go just a little too smoothly. Conflicts end quicker than expected. Decisions fall into place without resistance. At the time, it feels like luck or smart planning. Episode 10 quietly reveals that it was neither. It was permission. The man hiding in plain sight allowed events to happen because they served his future. When something did not benefit him, it stalled. When it did, it moved forward without friction. He understands something others do not. Power is easier to hold when people do not know you have it. By staying calm and neutral, he avoided becoming a target. Nobody felt threatened by him, so nobody prepared for him. That is how he survived every shift in power. While alliances formed and broke, he remained untouched because he was never seen as central. That invisibility is intentional. Episode 10 reframes his silence as control. Every time he chose not to speak, he forced others to fill the space. And when people talk too much, they reveal too much. He collected information without asking for it. He learned weaknesses without pressing them. By the time anyone realizes how much he knows, it is already too late to lie to him. What stands out most is how natural his presence feels. He does not look like a threat because he does not act like one. He blends in. He fits the environment. That comfort makes people drop their guard. They stop measuring their words. They stop protecting their plans. Over time, he becomes part of the background, and the background becomes the safest place to hide. In episode 10, small details expose his true role. He reacts to news before it fully lands. He is never surprised, only thoughtful. When others panic, He stays steady. That steadiness is not confidence. It is preparation. He already accounted for every outcome. The chaos was never a risk to him. It was part of the design. This section of the story proves that the biggest threat does not rush to the top. He lets the top collapse on its own. When the dust settles, he is still standing, untouched, unblamed, and perfectly placed to move next. And the most unsettling truth is this: even now, most people around him still do not realize who he really is. Episode 10 does something quiet but dangerous. It forces the audience to rethink the entire season without openly telling them to. Nothing is directly explained, yet everything suddenly makes sense. Moments that once felt random now feel connected. Decisions that looked emotional now feel planned. The episode does not rely on shock. It relies on realization. And that realization hits harder because it arrives slowly, piece by piece.